have you learned? Programmed to beat you. To beat you. Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Humans, what have you learned? It was programmed to beat you. Mistakes. It was programmed to beat you.
Andres picks up a penalty. Here comes Neil trying to get a pass. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past. Takumi wins. Schumacher to the front of the field.
Hello everybody. Put that down. Hello everybody, welcome to FRLT. Today it is time for the track of Belgium here tonight. Everybody is getting ready. We're just inviting some people very shortly. We're just inviting a couple of people to the lobby for the moment. A couple of last drivers waiting to get in at the moment. I believe we've got 3 who are waiting to get in. So yeah, I do apologise for me being and sounding moronic. I'm just grabbing everybody who wants invites and wants to get into this because I'm having to find people essentially. So yeah, so essentially tonight it's going to be rather interesting, I think. Definitely going to be interesting here tonight. Don't mind me, I'm just currently doing some stuff. Yeah, so I do apologise for me sounding quite bad, but we are just getting a couple of invites out to different people. Just the final couple of people who need invites here. couple of rather tricky names to just quickly stick in tonight. Of course, they have to be difficult names. Found it? Maybe not. The game's wanting to find that person at all. So yeah, so we're gonna be getting into a couple of things. It's of course Spa here tonight. I'm rather interested to see what's gonna happen. Quickly just scrolling through and getting the last couple of invites sent out to drivers at the moment. We shouldn't have too many more to invite. I think we're getting our final 1 or 2 drivers. So, we should be getting going very shortly. So yeah, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen here tonight. Of course, it is Spa Francorchamps. Rather exciting. We're going to get to the standings very shortly. We're going to be getting straight into qualifying very shortly, but here are the standings for this week. FGE continue to lead the constructors on 209 points, ahead of AMS on 110, 99 points being the difference between first and second. ABE, well, their bad luck come to an end as they only sit on 82 points, scoring just 10 points in the last 2 races, which they scored more points from round 5 in Japan than they have from the last 2 races. It's going to be a rather important and quite difficult evening for one team who really needs to make a big comeback, and that's STR. They've not scored a huge amount of points and actually dropped down to 7th in the constructors. Drive standings wise, Takubi still leads the drive standings on 58 points. And here is the track map. Belgium, 7 kilometers, 4.352 miles, 19 turns, 2 DRS zones. This track is going to be exciting. So much elevation to this track. I just love it. El Rouge and Radion being 2 of my favorites. Of course, we love El Rouge and Radion. I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen here tonight. There's always a lot that could happen, that could go on. So yeah, everything should be working. Please let me know that everything is working in chat. I know that as I'm in a little bit of a hurry today. Had to run around a bit and now I'm tired, but I'm still excited for tonight. So going back to here, the session is now starting in 0 seconds, as it says. Whether we're going to get going. Now it started. Now we are into the session officially. And this is rather great to be into the session. Yeah, I'm rather excited to see what this session is going to bring. As you can see, we got the same FGE lineup as last week. The lineup that took a 1-2 with Drastic Blaze and Jam. And so FGE hoping to extend their championship lead from 109 to, from a 99, hopefully to get over 100 points in the lead of the championship. Another team that needs to have a good return is SRA. They've missed 2 races, but they'll be serving a double qualifying ban this week and next week as well. So this week, not looking too nice for them. But at least they are back and racing once again. And there is the track map in the bottom right. And first driver is out on track is a Ferrari. That is the Ferrari of... I don't know how to say your name. I'll call you Aiko. I'm going to call you Aiko. I'm just going to call you that because I'm not sure how to say your name. So here's Aiko. I do apologise if I'm absolutely ruining your name, but Aiko on his lap, you can see McLaren, that was an XPG driver, really wanting to get past him. That was Josh, who flew past the Ferrari down the straight. He's really pushing it on his outlap here tonight. Sometimes it's important to push on an outlap. Sometimes it's just a bit too much. I do apologise for the pause menu, but Josh, it looks like he'll be the first driver to cross the line here tonight, and it's interesting to see that. Strict corner cutting is on, like it is every week, but it's going to be something rather interesting for the drivers. Coming round, let's see. Is Josh feeling quick for his first run and his first ever time racing in FRLT? We're going to have to see in the next couple of moments, next couple of corners. We're going to have to wait for this McLaren to go round. We'll go on board with the McLaren man very shortly once he does go round and get past the final 3 corners on this long circuit, the longest circuit on the F1 calendar, just spanning just over 4 kilometers. I believe it is only 4 meters too long. It is. It's only 4 meters too long. There's regulations in F1 that says that a track can't be over 7 kilometers, but it just stretches that by 4 meters. So it is very, very, very close with that. So coming into the bus stop chicane, let's ride on board with the McLaren. He comes round the last corner at the bus stop chicane now, full on the throttle, heading down towards turn 1. High in speed, 290 kilometers an hour, heading into turn 1. Bit of a lock up there, turning in the car very heavily, very nicely from the XPG driver of Josh. Now coming down onto the second straight. It's going to be flat out through El Rouge and Radion. 10 years ago, we wouldn't have been seeing this flat out through El Rouge and Radion, but now we do, and it's quite a common occurrence. Now opening the DRS for the second time in the lap, and ultimately will be the final time in the lap he'll open the DRS, heading down the Kenmore Straight now, running down at over 340 kilometers an hour. We all heard that famous line, "Here comes Sebastian Vettel," and that is going to be where we leave the section, coming through the next 3 corners now, heading down towards this lovely, lovely right-hander, heading downhill. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very nice. Now heading through the left-hander, coming down faster, faster, and faster. Now heading into the left-hander. He throws it in incredibly beautifully. He throws it in through the left-hander. Now heading up into the right-hander. Now through the left once again. He throws out, he chucks that wide. Now heading once again into the next right-hander at the track. He's going to have the final couple of corners to go. He's got a flat out corner and the bus stop chicane. Probably, I have to say, the bus stop chicane, in my opinion, is probably the hardest set of corners on this entire track. Flat out through the left-hander. We all like to see flat out through corners. Now heading down into the bus stop chicane, throwing it in very well. But Josh takes too much inside curb and now heads wide. There's a 5-place grid penalty collision with Drastic Blaze. That will be looked at, of course, so that will be a lobby restart. We're going to see the next Ferrari. That's Aiko. He's going to go top of the ball, 1 minute 41.276. Very, very good lap from the AMS man. Really setting what he needs to see here tonight. You can see Rev Rob for ABE not being able to achieve the same lap times, only setting a 1 minute 42.0, as Rexy still goes slower and R-Web slowest of them all into the 1 minute 42.5. So you can see Mixley goes up into the high positions. You can see Sven has retired. Sven has retired from the session. I'm gonna call him I will call you He goes there. AMS Josh, though, behind his teammate by about 7/10. Now, F1 Aspect into P2. He slots just 1/4 behind the fastest driver here in the session, and slotting between the AMS drivers as well. So, rather interesting to see that, actually. Coming round. We saw Trap, he crossed the line, only P8. Adri only went P9 and slowest of the rest. Davito is the next one to come up to the line. He's not feeling it in this session, so he's going to back off Jam has invalidated on his lap. We can see there's a slow Aston Martin. This is Drastic Blaze, the man who took the victory last time out in FRLT. He's heading down the pit straight now, and he's looking very, very confident in this session. We will be, by the way, we will be having a lobby restart here tonight because of a grid penalty set for one of the drivers. Coming around, Drastic Blaze finishing off the first sector. He's coming very quickly at a huge amount of speed, of course, over 340 kilometers an hour. Finishes off sector 1 just below the 32nd, just 3 thousandths below the 30th second. Coming round the right-hander, now heading down towards the next right-hander. He's going incredibly quickly. He's got a lot of speed. Coming round, it's very quick from Drastic Blaze. Now heading into the left-hander. He goes slightly wide. Now heading down towards the next left-hander. He's throwing the car in incredibly quickly. And that is exactly what he wants to be doing in this session. Now heading down into the right. And now into the left. He's going to be throwing that car around with all of his might. He'll be trying his best. Yep, I can't assume it is, but sadly, it is the rules. It was for a collision though, and so it might not be. I'll actually have to double check as we get into the race, because I'm actually going to have to double check now, because it's a rather strange, quite odd thing to have. Coming up to the line, Drastic Blaze only goes P3, 6/10 off of the man who is in first. That is Aiko in first at the moment. Not the best of laps from our previous race winner, although we didn't see him putting in the best of qualifying lap last week either. Rojuel is on a lap. We got KSN. I'm gonna call you KSN. He's on a lap at the moment. ARS needing something big. Adri, slowest of them all, currently in this session. Coming round, he's going pretty quick actually so far. Let's see. He's throwing in that car, a lot of confidence under him, of course. He'll be feeling all of that confidence. He'll be wanting all of that confidence as well. And throwing it in, he goes a little bit wide there out of sector 2. Coming into sector 3 now. That is going to compromise his exit quite a bit, and he would have lost quite a bit of time from that as well. Heading round through the left-hander. Coming up now into the right, and now the left. He throws it in very nicely. Coming up to the line, what is he going to put on the board? It's going to be a 1 minute 42. It's going to be ahead of his teammate, and it's going to be ahead of Trap, but only P10 on the grid as it stands. Takubi's just starting his lap. We've got Rojuel. He needs a good performance here today, and he crosses the line. He goes P9 ahead of Rweb. That's quite interesting to see. ART struggling a little bit. Maybe they are struggling just a little bit so far. Takubi's on his lap. Kevin is earlier on in his lap. So it's DeVito. Rweb started his lap. Not many drivers on a lap quite late on. I think the closest is Kevin. Kevin needs a good race here tonight. Of course, it was for a collision. I've just checked. It would be due to it being for a collision. There will not be a lobby restart. It is only for the blocking, for illegal blocking. That is the only penalty it comes under. These are in other rules. These are the rules that will be updated shortly, added rules that were meant to be implemented for this race, but I've accidentally didn't. And you can see Kevin, fastest of them all. ARO really bringing a battle to the top 5 in the last race or two, because they've just gone P1 and P3, and there's only 1.5 tenths dividing the two teammates, and they're splitting the AMS drivers as well. So a couple of things not working out for some drivers. I think we've just had, who else is crossing the line next? Not sure who is. It is going to be Takubi. He's going to be the next driver to cross the line. Has he set a good lap? He set a decent enough lap for P4, but it is still quite a few tenths off of the provisional pole position taker, 4 tenths off. He's got some time to find us. DeVito finds quite a bit of time for STR. He now makes his way up. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that was... Not sure what to say about that, but that is P4 for DeVito. Maybe a post-race penalty if somebody reports that. That might be, I believe, that was with the AlphaTauri of Adri. It was with the AlphaTauri of Adri. Jam's just put in a 46.4. I think we've got... that's an Alpine late on in the lap. Josh will be the next driver to cross the line. He's done a decent middle sector coming around. See coming down into now the left-hander. He's got a lot of speed behind him. He's got a lot of speed coming now into the bus stop chicane. He's throwing it through. Coming up to the line now. What is he going to put in? It's a 1 minute 41.233. And that is the front row for XPG. As it stands, it is the front row for these guys. They're going to be very, very happy and rather excited with that. AB Takubi is not on a flying lap. Although, is Drastic Blaze. No, Drastic Blaze isn't either. Adri is on a flying lap. He's over half a second up on his lap. He needs to find a lot of this time. He finds 7 tenths, just jumping ahead of his teammate to 42.6s. 1.5 seconds, though, off of pole position. So he's still got quite a bit of time to find. I think we just saw a Williams going into the pits. Yes, it is. It's a Williams going into the pits. We've got a Haas that's on an out lap. We've got Jam, who's coming into the pits, though. He was improved by 1.2 seconds, but not improving enough, of course, so he's not very happy with that lap for the moment. The other Williams of R-Web is also coming into the pits. There's a Ferrari, and that is Aiko. He's currently doing a slow run for the moment. I think we've got Drastic Blaze. Yes, Drastic Blaze is on a lap. I think he's the closest driver to actually being crossing line and setting a lap time. He's pushing it very heavily. We're going to ride on board with Drastic Blaze, heading into now the last couple of corners in this middle sector. The Alpine gets very far out of the way, I have to say, onto the gravel, quite far. Little bit of a lock up there. Still improving by 1/10.5, but this is only going to... He will still stay P7, even with that 1/10.5 taken off. He's still going to be P7 as it stands. He's only going to make it into the 1 minute 41.7s. So unless he can find maybe another 1/10.5 in this final sector, maybe 2 tenths, that's the only way he's going to be finding all the time he wants to find. And across the line, he's going to find 3 tenths, but it's 27 thousandths too slow to gain a position as he still stays behind Takubi on his lap. We got Rexy. He's not pushing on a lap. A couple of drivers pushing on out laps, though. We've got Haas, which is coming up to the line. That is... I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm going to call you Knack. I'm calling you Knack. That's it. That's your name now. Your name is now Knack. You have a new name. I've renamed you. You can see we've got another driver there on an out lap. Rev Rob going slowly on his lap. I think the closest driver we do have is Aiko. He's pushing on his lap. So we'll see. He's going to run into some traffic. He's actually going to run into his teammate for some traffic. But they are working on a tow. It is allowed. Tows are allowed in FRLT. So he's going to be able to get away with this lovely tow. And now heading down the back straight. He's getting more of a tow. His teammate gets out of the way. And now he's going to get some extra help. His teammate also jumps the Red Bull in the order, stopping ABE from being able to get back-to-back. Bit of a lock-up from Aiko, though. Up to the line. Is he going to put in a better lap time? Yes, he is. He's going to find 2 tenths. He finds it's a 1 minute 41.0s. Now he's going to be giving a slipstream to his teammate down the straight. That's what he's going to be giving, and that's going to be helping AMS even more this weekend. And that is exactly what AMS will be wanting, of course. We've got Rojoel, who's on a flying lap. He's improving by just over 2/10. This could find him... He could find himself up into the top 8 with his current lap time. So that could be something interesting, possibly challenging some of the top drivers at the moment. And he does go P9. He's just 1,000th behind P8. He'll be kicking himself slightly that he didn't get that position in the end. DeVito and his teammate are on outlaps. Drastic Blaze has gone slowly. I think so is his teammate. Jam, who's down quite low. You can see Trap is going slowly. These are going to be the last runs to the session, by the way. There's just 1 minute left in this session. It's Senna. The Haas is Senna. Okay, that's just me being blind, by the way. That was generally me being blind. That was me being blind. I do apologize. That was terrible from me. I don't know how I was so blind. We've got Rev Rob. He's going to be crossing the line next. He's found about half a second. This could be posting himself up ahead of his teammates. As it stands, coming round the final corner, this will be the end to his run. And it's going to be 1 minute 41.715. Only finding P8 still a bit further off from the top 7. But last couple of drivers, AMS Josh finds a lap time ahead of his teammate. He jumps onto provisional pole. Takumi, out of nowhere, finds a 1 minute 40.893. That is one lap time from the Red Bull. AMS went from a 1-2. Now it's second and third. Let's see who next is crossing the line. It is going to be Kevin. He was down in his middle sector. All he needs to find is a 10th, and he'll jump ahead of both of the Ferraris. He does find just over a 10th, and he jumps ahead of AMS Josh. We got some Williams coming up to the line. The first Williams will be R-Web. He's found about 7/10 in his lap. That could see him up into the top 10. What's he going to put? He is going to go up into the top 10. He's now got his teammate DeVito, who's trying to improve his lap. And he does improve. He finds the front row for STR. That's incredible from DeVito there. That's what he'll be looking for here today. And we've got Jam, who's on his lap. What's he going to put in? He's going to go up to P6, missing out on the top 5 by just a 10th there. His teammate's given up on his lap. We've got Aspect. He's just spun. Aspect has spun round, and that now will change things for later on. We've got an Alpine, which I'm trying to find. That was Trap. He's only gone up one position. We got the Mercedes. He improves by 4/10, but stays P15. We've got a McLaren of Josh. He's just crossed the line. He went slower. Still P7 in this session so far. We've got Senna coming up to the line next. I'm going to say it. And now, coming round the final corner, sliding all over the place off of the exit. Senna up to the line. He's going to find just 12,000ths of a second and stay P13. And that is the whole of qualifying here. That is pretty crazy to see that from a lot of drivers. Takumi on pole position by only 0.5 of a second as well. I'm surprised by that. I really am surprised. That was a really good one there. Absolutely crazy. I have no words. I generally have no words for these guys. Really good. We're waiting for 2 drivers to retire in the pits. We're just waiting for Josh now to retire in the pits. And now this session is over. And so here is the qualifying order for round 8 in Belgium in FRLT Season 1. Here it is. ABE Takumi finds himself on pole position with a 1 minute 40.893. Only one of 2 drivers to make the 1 minute 40s. With DeVito for STR making it out of absolutely nowhere to get P2. The top 3 are completed by Kevin for AERO. AMS Josh and AMS Aiko finish out P4 and P5, with Jam only finishing P6. Josh is P7 with Aspects in P8. Drastic Blaze has a really tough one, finishing P9. Rev Robust finishes out the top 10. R Web is 11th, Rogerwell 12th, Senna is in 13th, Rexy 14th, Like in 15th, Adri 16th, Surge in 17th, KSN in 18th, and Sven in 19th and last place. Without a lap time, he had a qualifying ban anyway for this race. There'll be no restart due to the collision. And anyway, the man who did get the grid penalty was ultimately down in last place anyway. So, off of that, it's going to be exciting. It is really going to be exciting. I'm really excited for this now. Going down towards turn 1, it can happen either way. Of course, ABE Takubi is on the inside of the track for his run here. I'm going to be rather surprised to see if Takubi doesn't lead off out of lap 1. But who knows, down any straight, everywhere. Overtakes can happen anywhere and everywhere. Down the Kemmel straight, down the final straight, who knows? But ultimately, going into this race, strategy-wise, it is a one-stop. Probably we're going to see hard to mediums. And so, the hard to mediums, maybe medium to hards, who knows? And somebody's already readied up. I think somebody's readied up. But we are going as 1, 2, 3, 4. Fire red lights. And away we go. And away we go now. Takubi gets away. He holds on to his lead. It's a very good start from the Red Bull man. Going down into turn 1. He's stopping any charge from DeVito going down through turn 1. That's a very good start from him. He's making his way, and there's absolute chaos happening in the background. Jam has got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with AMS Josh. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Josh is at the back of the grid now. That is not a good start for him. Takubi's got to be defending down onto the Kemmel straight. That Williams is catching. There's an AlphaTauri that's gone off, actually, and there's a couple of moves happening everywhere and anywhere. And we can see Josh further back. He's getting absolutely hit in the rear. He's getting hit everywhere and anywhere. And there he goes. He's off into the wall. And now, Aiko is out of the race. And it is a safety car off for lap 1. What has happened to AMS? P17 and now a DNF. What has happened to the AMS duo? What happened off their start? Of course, turn 1, it looks like Josh was gotten and Aiko now. Absolute. Not sure what. It just looks like he just lost the rear. And he did hit into the wall. But now, Takubi holds on to his lead. The top 3 staying the same. Rev Rob having an absolute storming start. He's up into. P4. Some people asking, is this a restart? There is going to be a safety car. Some people questioning whether it has, whether it will be a restart or not. I'm not sure. It's rather confusing. Off of that race start, it was very crazy because Kevin coming into the pits, Jam is coming into the pits. We're not going to be having a restart. We won't be. There won't be any restart here tonight. One driver's having to try and get back in because his buttons aren't working for the moment. So that is, of course, a little bit worrying that one of the drivers, their buttons aren't working. That ultimately won the timing off of lap 1, and that was the AMS man of Aiko. He looked so quick in qualifying. He said he had a big snap and just couldn't control it, and so ultimately that has left him out of the session and ultimately being our first retiree of tonight quite early on in the lap. Now, to say a couple of drivers getting a good start, others not getting so much of a good start. If we look, position changes, great start for Rev Rob, he's up 7 places, Rojewell up 6, Senna's up 5. It's not been a good start for either AMS or for FGE because Jam is down in last and AMS Josh is down in 17th, and FGE's top driver, Drastic, is only in P9 and still behind 8 more drivers. And so who knows what could happen there. One driver I'm actually quite surprised by for this start was Rev Rob, making 7 places. Of course, he qualified P10. So I'm quite surprised that he has made up that many places that quickly. Quite interesting, to be honest. But yeah, so this safety car should either end this lap or next lap, as the whole grid are all together now. Maybe it will end, I'm hoping it will end this lap, as, you know, it's quite a long lap. I think it will probably finish at the end of next lap. We'll see the next moment or two whether it will. Yeah, so not a good start for a couple of drivers. ARS kind of having the kind of same place they were where they started. 14th and 15th, a couple of places up for KSN. He's gone up 5 places from where he started. Now heading down into the bus stop chicane. There will be another lap of the safety car, and this should be the final lap of the safety car as well. It's bunched everybody up in this order, but it's actually looking like a really good race for ABE, because at the moment they're P1 and P3. They're just going to be scoring 41 points from this race at maximum. 40 points, of course, if they don't get fastest lap. So this race is looking very strong for ABE. It's looking like a very strong chance for them to close up or possibly overtake AMS in the Constructors' Championship in this race if it continues. But I know I do give the commentator's curse to many drivers, which I'm going to shut up about saying any predictions for the races anymore, because I just seem to absolutely make those drivers bottle whenever I say I think they can win. But except for when I said Takubi would lead into turn 1 and out of turn 1, in which I didn't get him to bottle it. So at least I'm happy that one thing worked. But now we've got just 18 drivers out of 19 coming round the final corner. Well, not the final corner, sorry. Another corner. More corners on this circuit. This circuit really does feel like it goes on for a while. We're already, by the way, a minute into the lap time. This is how slow the safety car is around this track. Which is quite worrying that the safety car is actually this slow. But looking at a couple of drivers, for instance, I can see DeVito. He looked like he went on the attack quite early on. But let's have a look at tyres, because that's something I actually want to look at. I want to look at the tyres, because drivers have gone for very different tyres. You see, the ABE duo have both gone for softs to get pace early on. DeVito went for mediums, which means he'll either go softs at the end of the race or hards. I could see softs working. Josh has gone for the hards. Same as quite a few drivers. And a lot of drivers who just box have gone for the mediums. One went for the softs. So only 3 soft runners, and then it's mixed for mediums and hards. Which is rather interesting. Safety car is in this lap, and this is going to be a rather exciting start. I keep on clicking the wrong button. Keep on clicking the wrong button for getting rid of the correct HUD. I keep on getting rid of the whole HUD. But now we're going to be watching Takubi is basically the safety car now. He gets to control the pace until he wants to go. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. When is he going to go? When is he going to send it? At this point, you can see the flood of cars behind him. That camera angle shows it so well of how many cars he's got sitting behind him. He's got 17 sitting behind him at the moment. He's hoping it will stay the same, and it will stay like that for the rest of the race. And now, when is Takubi going to go? Is he going? No, you can see he's just waiting. He's just going slowly. He's not going to be pushing really hard. He doesn't want to push really hard just yet. As we see, he's coming down. Now he's going to go. He's now going. No, he's still waiting. He's waiting until the line. Now he's going. He's caught DeVito out. He's got a good lead. He's about half a second now into the lead of the race. That saves him from any possible overtakes. And you can see Senna's now made the move on Drastic. Drastic having to fight for positions like crazy. This camera angle is showing absolutely nothing. Senna couldn't make the move on Drastic Blaze. Drastic Blaze now up into P8 in this race, which is absolutely helping FGE very slightly, but only by 4 points. This will be their lowest point score since Brazil. And now you can see a bit of lagging for a couple of drivers. Rogerwell disconnecting from the session. You can see, like, now up into P9 in this race. He's doing all right. Now, Webb, he's made up a couple of places. You can see Rogerwell's dropping down places. And he sent a driver off into the wall. That was Rexy he sent off into the wall. Not sure what's happened to him. I think he is possibly ghosted. He has ghosted because he's disconnected. And so a bit of havoc happening there. Webb finds himself up into P6 now, ahead of Drastic Blaze. But Drastic Blaze does find himself P7. See, Kevin now makes his way up into P11, using all of track limits and possibly a warning for them there as well. You can see further back, we got some moves happening. Josh trying to make the move on Adri around the outside. He does make the move on Adri, as now he makes his way up into P15 to chase down now the AI of Rogerwell, which he'll easily get past and get up to P14 in this race. And that is good for AMS slowly coming back. Rev Rob all over the back of DeVito. He's making the move now into the bus stop chicane. Here he comes around the outside. Late braking. He's made the move on those fresher, soft compound. Those so fast softs. They are amazing. You see Webb having to fight with a couple of drivers. It's 3 wide in the background. And you can see they're all battling, but Sven chooses to back out there. And now here comes an attack from Senna. He's made the move. Bit of contact. They're still going with contact. These 5 are all battling. 3 wide further back. One's going to get pushed off into the barrier. They're still going 3 wide. Heading towards El Rouge and Radion. Oh, and there goes like he's round. He got spun round through Radion. That is a big moment for them. And it's a big moment for ART because they're now 17th and 18th in this race. AMS Josh is finding his way up into P11. He's now made his way past. You can see Kevin's made his way past Webb because he's now up into P8. And Webb is really struggling all of a sudden. I'm not sure why. Well, a couple of drivers on the softs who are getting past and so on the mediums because Josh is about to find his way up into the top 10. And he's found his way back up into the top 10. And that is points for AMS here today. Hopefully, they'll be looking for more because Drastic Blaze currently will be scoring 8 points for FGE and only 1 point for AMS so far. Looking for where Jam is. Jam is in 13th. He's struggling to get past the AOS driver. You can see a driver's gone off. Aspects had a bit of a spin. He's off in the middle of the track. And ARO's weekend is falling apart slowly because he's now down into P16 and almost right at the back of the grid. And you can see Rogerwell's AI almost makes a move on him as well. But look at the gap. Sadly, Drastic Blaze has found himself on his own by 2 seconds either way. And Josh is trying to make the move on DeVito. He's trying to make his way around the outside. He can't make it move down the inside or the outside. Is he going to look for a move into turn 1? DRS is now enabled. And it is the 2 ABE drivers who lead. Here comes Josh down the inside. He sent it on DeVito. They're going to be side by side. They're going to keep running side by side. They're heading towards El Rouge and Radion full speed. They're pushing all the way, riding on board with Josh, heading down towards El Rouge and Radion. Josh does pull in behind, but that is because he will be looking to pick up the DRS onto the straight. I'm trying to think. And now heading down, he does have DRS, and he pulls himself up into P3, and that is a good position. Rogerwell is asking for an invite. I'm going to quickly invite him because he needs an invite very quickly. Let's see if we can invite him quickly. Very quickly. Just give me a minute. I do apologize for this, but if a driver's struggling to get back in, I always do want to help. And now there's been no changes, so we haven't missed anything. We haven't missed anything at all, which is quite good. But yeah, Josh now finding himself up into P3 in this race. XPG back on the podium. Drastic Blaze finds himself P5, 10 points at the moment. For them, AMS Josh up in P8. He's being chased down by Jam. Both of them on the medium tyres as well. So it's all going to come down to pace. Who's going to do better than the other? Now, looking further ahead though, this ABE 1-2, they are on the soft tyres, but the softs will of course be gaining wear over time. But I do have to say, ABE looking very, very quick here today, especially Takubi. He's looked very fast here today. But if it can be an ABE 1-2, this would be a massive, massive game for ABE. And as it would stand, they would overtake FGE in the standings. If I am correct, they would overtake AMS in the standings. I think they will at the moment. And you can just see, although behind, Josh looking very open to making a move on the Camel straight. Here he comes. Is he going to go inside? Is he going to go outside? Is he going to follow behind? He's going to the inside. He's going to be trying to make a move. No, he's not. He's going to be waiting to make that move, but he can't just yet on Rev Rob. Rev Rob really had a lot of straight line speed there, and that was perfect for what he needed for the moment. I'm just looking at the standings quickly. I'm getting them up because I just want to double check who's on how many points. Yes, it's 20. It's less than a 30-point gap. So as it stands, AB would take second in the Constructors' Championship. So this is going to be very important to many, many drivers. You can see KSN's had a bit of a moment, but further back, there's been a big moment because we've seen R-Web go off. We can see another Alpine. That was Rexy. He's also gone off as well, and I think that was everybody, actually. So R-Web's day is just getting worse and worse. He's lost his front wing now. Rexy now makes his way up into P16. Not a good day for SRA. They missed the last two races, and it's not getting any better. But we look to the front now because Josh is attacking the Red Bulls. He's attacking one of them. He's attacking Rev Rob. Is Rev Rob going to let him go? No, he's not. He's not going to let anything happen. There's an Alpine off that is Trap. But we've got to be looking at Josh. Is he going to make the move into turn one? Is he going to send it? No, he is keeping it safe. He is waiting till El Rouge and Radion. He's waiting until the straight. I am going to be incredibly excited to see what's going to happen down this straight now. Down the Camel straight. They go. We're going to ride on board with Josh. We're going to be watching. He's using all of his ERS. He's using everything he's got. He's closing and he's closing. He's making it 3 wide. Down the Camel straight. And there's a change for the lead. Takumi down to third. Rev Rob and Josh are going to fight for the lead. Who's going to come out on top? Rev Rob now leads here in Belgium. And now there's a battle further back. Takumi makes his way back past Josh for P2. And Josh is now falling down to 4th place because DeVito's also made his way back past. These are some amazing moves. I think I've been seeing DeVito playing the long game and waiting until his tyres are better. Looking at ERS-wise, though, they're all pretty strong, but DeVito has the most ERS, and Josh does have the least. Jam gets a 3-second time penalty. That's going to hurt him at the moment, because that could possibly see him, that will see him currently down to P9 in this race, even though he is catching up to his teammate, but they are on different sets of compounds, but he is definitely struggling with those track limits for the moment. Only for the moment, though. We might see him getting quicker and quicker and quicker in this race. Who knows what will happen? Looking at DeVito, though, he's definitely been playing the long game. Josh hasn't. He's actually lost now 0.8 of a second to the front 3. But DeVito's eyeing up his chance at taking on the Red Bulls, taking on the ABE duo that's in the lead. We know FG are catching. We could see them actually on the left-hand side. You could see this long line of cars. But at the moment, out of these 3, DeVito, I'd say he's looking very strong in his contention for a possible win. Josh has fallen off now. He's really falling back. Kevin is actually going to be attacking Josh very shortly. But we can see Takubi, he's going to be the man who wants to retake his lead here tonight. He's going to get the DRS open. The rear wing opens. And now he's heading down the straight. And Takubi leads once again here tonight. But DeVito's going to take P2 away from Rev Rob. And he's going to split the ABE duo in 2. And now this could be the thing that could see a couple of drivers start to struggle, especially the front 3. And you can see DeVito going wide. That could have opened the door for Rev Rob. It almost opened the door for Rev Rob, but he's still pushing quite hard. But this is actually allowing, that mistake has allowed Takubi to get an 0.8 lead over DeVito. Maybe Takubi is starting to push a little bit more and finding just a little bit more pace over the STR driver for the moment. I have to say, looking further back though, Kevin, he's looking hungry. And he's looking very hungry for that P4 position. AERO having a bit of a tough day. Aspect, of course, spun round, but he's now P11, 4 seconds off of 10th. But definitely, Kevin's looking very happy. He would love to get P4 here, and he's seeing that flashing light on the back of the McLaren. But Kevin isn't much better for EOS. He's going to have his light flashing as well on the back of his car. So it's just a perfect warning sign so that both of them are struggling for ERS-wise. Is he going to make the move? No, he isn't. He's going to wait just for a bit longer. We can see further back, Jam's made the move on his teammate, Drastic Blaze, for P6. But remember, penalty will hold Jam back later on in the race, and that will ultimately hold him up at the end of the race. We can see a move further ahead. Kevin making some contact with Josh, pushing his way past. Oh, there's a big collision between the... Well, not a big collision, but there's quite a bit of a collision. The tyres getting locked there between the two of them. If that was real life, one of them would have been spun around there, and that probably would have been Kevin. And the, of course, the suspension probably would have been broken for Josh's car. But sadly, it's not like real life. They're still going to be going side by side down the Kemmel straight now. Who's going to come out on top here? Who's going to have more speed? Kevin, he's going to drop back. He sees his opportunity will come later down the line. But that battling has ultimately set them over a second behind the top two. The top three, sorry. They're now 1.3 seconds behind and struggling to keep up, while the top three all sit within 9/10 of each other, but even RevRob is starting to struggle himself. And that is going to be something that's very important later on, that Takubi's teammate is struggling to keep up. Maybe Takubi just has that pace on those softs still. We are on lap 10 out of 22. We're almost at the halfway mark in this race. And ABE have led every single lap here so far. They're looking for their second victory this season. And Takubi's looking for his second victory, not only for his team, but for himself, to continue his lead in the Drivers' Championship. His luck, I said this before the stream, actually. I said this to myself. I was talking to somebody, actually. And I said the ABE would have a comeback here tonight. And they needed to have a comeback here tonight. And they have done it so far. P1 and P3, massive points haul coming their way. And Takubi will go into the pits. His teammate, of course, staying out. They don't want to double stack and hold up one driver, but it still leads a massive gap between P2 and P3. Still 1.4 seconds, and the gap isn't getting smaller. Kevin almost making the move. He does make the move because Josh makes a big mistake, but they're going to be running side by side. You can see Jam got a bit hindered off of the exit there, so it's not going to be helping them. And there goes Kevin. He's made his way into P3. As you can see, Jam almost... he hit the wall slightly there, so maybe things aren't looking too great for Jam either, but we could see DRS will be open for all of these four drivers. They're going to go 3 wide. They're almost going 4 wide. Jam up to P3. Drastic Blaze following his teammate. He's trying to follow his teammate through. He can't follow his teammate through because he's going to have massive contact with Josh for P4 in this race. Josh cuts corner and gets a 3-second time penalty. Drastic Blaze will get back past Kevin though, but that's a big bit of contact for him. But you can see Josh has let back past Drastic Blaze. He doesn't need to let past Kevin because he was already past Kevin. But now, FG, P3 and P4 chasing after the front two. But now they find themselves 1.5 seconds away from the race leaders as it stands. And remember, one of them might be on the softs, but DeVito is on the mediums and is going for the same strategy. So FG will have to pull in a lot of pace, currently over 2 seconds away from the race leader. And that's going to be something very important later on in this race. Takubi actually came out in P11, so he's actually quite close to the rest. He's gone to the medium tyres. Of course, I expected to see that from Takubi. So he should actually have some decent pace on those tyres. He's currently behind Aspect for P10. It will still be a point. Takubi's bad luck might finally end here this week. He hasn't scored points in the last 2 races. And now, I believe he's actually retired from the last 2 races. He has retired from the last 2 races. Now, RevRob goes into the pits. He was the other Red Bull on the soft tyres. Let's see how much time Takubi has actually gained on his teammate while pitting 1 lap early. We'll see how powerful the undercut is here and whether it's really worth a lot. We're going to see coming down towards turn 1. He's going to pass his teammate only now. Where's his teammate going to go? Down 2. His teammate's actually going down quite a few positions. And his teammate is there. And there's drops of rain. There, I can confirm, there are drops of rain coming down. Could we be seeing some rain in this race towards the end? You can see battling between Josh and Kevin. Josh gets pushed off a bit, but Kevin makes his way now up into P4 in this race. Might we be seeing some rain coming along in this race? Could have these top guys gotten some really smart points and decisions? Josh has also caught up a lot to these guys. I have to say, he's done a really good job to catch up to these top 5. I have to say, it's been an amazing day. Senna, it is raining. It is raining. I can confirm it is raining in this race. We could be seeing some drivers going to some other sets of tyres. You can see Takubi, he's on the medium tyres. He's just boxed. And so is his teammate, Rev Rob. So could have this been a massive mistake for ABE? Might they lose out their chance to win here today and get a solid double podium? Rev Rob has made his move up into P10. That's double points now for ABE at least. That's only 3 points for them. But has it been an absolute masterstroke in strategy from, for instance, Davito? The man is now leading by 2 seconds while the rain's starting to drop down. You can see it's dropping a bit heavier than it was a minute ago. He's not boxing yet. Of course, it's still pretty dry, but you can see the track is slowly getting a bit more wet minute by minute, probably by second. More and more rain coming down. You can see the track starting to get a little bit damp. Little lock up there from Davito into turn 1. Doesn't hinder him too much, of course, with this game. Josh, though, AMS Josh. Got 2 Joshes. AMS Josh hunting down McLaren Josh. DXPG Josh. He's hunting down the McLaren now for P5 in this race. And actually, Josh goes a bit wide through El Rouge and Radion. Now here comes the Ferrari. He's charging down the inside. And there goes AMS Josh. Ooh, a lot of contact there. Heading down into the corner. They're still running side by side. They're still going for it. The Ferrari goes off, though. And he will have to hold on to P6 for now. And he's going to have to wait until he has a better opportunity. Because at the moment, that was quite risky from him. And he would have had to give back the position anyway. Because he went off track. Off of the exit. As you might have seen, he went outside of the white lines. And that would have given him a penalty if he didn't give back the position anyway. You can see Jam's caught up by about 2/10 this lap. Will it matter massively? No, because the Williams is the final pit box on the whole grid. So right now, it's not going to matter that much. But it might matter later on in this race that it is the last pit box. You could see a couple of drivers still going around. But this might be a bit of a problem for some drivers. A bit of a problem, not so much of a problem for others. But you can see the rain stayed about the same this lap. There's been no change in the rain. As you can actually see, we're going to ride on board with DeVito. You see, there's bits of rain. Rain's coming down, you can see it. But there's not enough rain to come into the pits yet. So maybe, is this just a few clouds with the rain going to come a bit later? AB Takubi's just found himself up into P8. Maybe going to the mediums or the hards could have been a better idea to start the race on, instead of being on the softs. But now, he's making his way round. See, maybe the tyre's struggling just a little bit. He's catching up to Senna, though, in P7 for DLR-FP1. DLR-FP1 being rather clean here tonight. Only 1 Haas as well. You can see Aspect goes into the pits. We're going to watch Takubi. DRS is still enabled, by the way. So that is a telling sign that it is not wet enough for wet tires, because and there's a bit of fighting. I actually did not see that until we saw the camera angle. A massive tangle between AMS Josh and Josh. They're really making enemies of each other here tonight. Coming round, and there goes AMS Josh. He's going to find himself up into the top 5. Massive comeback from the AMS driver. Josh, though, dropping back through the field more and more. And one of the men who was catching him is AB Takubi, because that gap has now come down to just a second. And this is exactly where he wants it to be going right. As you can see, Rev Rob finds himself in the P9. But actually, this strategy might start to work out for AB Takubi, because he's really caught up to the leaders a lot. He's massively caught up to the leaders. He's got P6 and P5 in his sights at the moment. So we'll see whether our pole position taker can find his way past these two with any ease. Of course, on the much fresher tyres, AMS Josh gets a 3-second time penalty. And so that is going to be a massive problem for him. You could see Rev Rob made his move up into P8 past Senna, and that's going to be a pretty easy move for him. But you can see, here comes Takubi. He's going to try and make his way past both of the Joshes. Can he do it? No, he can't. Jam is coming into the pits now. Contact between the 2 Joshes. One's going into the pits. That was the XPG driver who's going into the pits. Here comes Takubi. He's flying past. What tyres are these guys going to? Jam's gone to a set of mediums. He's gone to another set of mediums. He's thinking he can make it to the end of the race. Takubi, on 1 mediums though, but still very fast mediums, has caught up into P4 and will get P3 as it stands, but he will be sitting about 6.7 seconds away from the race leader. So, well, off of P2, by the way. So he's about 8. He's over 9 seconds behind the race leader. So he's got a while to go in this race. Let's have a quick look at the tyres. Let's have a quick look at the tyres wise of who's gone for what. A couple of drivers going for inters. Some drivers feeling it, some drivers not. Rev Rob has just gone and passed Josh as well. So the ABE duo still going very strong on those medium tyres. They're still going very quickly. We saw that Josh, Senna, we saw Jam wasn't happy. Was fine with dry tyres still. We'll see whether they change again. And this might be a little masterstroke from Takubi. Because he might just get his teammate to defend for him, as we saw earlier that he got his teammate to defend for him. It's lap 15 out of 22. Your race leader, DeVito, on his own, 3.1 seconds ahead of Drastic Blaze. You can see that Aston Martin, you can't even see it in the same camera shot. That is how far ahead this man is. And that really just shows how far he is ahead. 3.3 seconds it now sits at. I think we're going to be seeing DeVito come into the pits very shortly. But let's see how far behind he'll be when he does come into the pits. Senna gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We've got a yellow flag, a little bit of contact with the wall. This does leave ABE Takubi and Rev Rob to lead the race. Those mediums can make it to the end, easily can make it to the end. We're going to see what they're going to do because DeVito, he's going to the soft tyres. But it depends how far behind he's going to be. He will be behind Jam, by the way. That's how far he's going to be behind. Is he going to be down to P4, 5? Will he be down to P5? No, he'll be P4, but he's sitting over 7 seconds behind P2, and that's about 7.5 seconds behind the race leader. And so that is a lot of time to gain on ABE Takubi, plus with his teammate. So we'll see what happens. These two seem very happy out in the lead. Jam is not catching these two either. You can see Kevin's just made the move on DeVito, so that's not what DeVito will be wanting, is having another driver on pretty much fresh mediums staying in front of him for the moment, because we saw the softs and the mediums do drop off. Well, the softs drop off rather quickly. They're quite equal with the mediums, so that's not what he'll be wanting here tonight. You can see Jam is catching on these guys, but Rev Rob is struggling to keep up with his teammates so much. You can see there is still DRS. There is clearly DRS still. If we look further back, we're going to see there is still DRS, and there are now bits of water. So could this be an absolute masterstroke of genius from ABE, get the massive undercut, and now they can go to the wet set of tyres for the rest of the race? Has this just been an absolute intelligent move from the ABE duo? Will we see them double stop? Will they do a double pit stop? Maybe. That would be interesting to see. I think Rev Rob, is he dropping back? Is he waiting? We're going to see. They're still not coming into the pits. They still feel that they're strong enough on these tyres for the moment. You can see how much rain there is out there at the moment. Quite a few drivers not choosing to go in. Everybody is wanting to make it to the end on these tyres. I don't think they're going to make it to the end. I know there's a lot of spray, but just look at how much spray there is coming off of those tyres. They still seem to have grip, but I don't know whether it's just an illusion or not. I'm really confused on why they have so much grip still with these tyres. But you can see they're having to let off a bit through El Rouge and Radion, which they don't usually do. They're losing a lot of time to Jam per lap. We've seen it go down from 7 seconds, now down to 4.5. They are definitely slowing down. They are definitely slowing down now. DeVito getting past Kevin for P4. To be honest, I'll be saying go to the intermediates at this point, looking at all of that spray coming off of the tyres. See AMS Josh has made his way up into P8. You can see Sven getting past Aspect for P10. As it stands, AMS Josh could be finding himself in P8. He's going pretty quickly on the intermediates though, so the intermediates are looking faster than these medium tyres or softs or any dry tyres at the moment. So I think we'll be seeing ABE coming into the pits very, very shortly. And I think we'll be seeing everybody coming into the pits very shortly, which to be honest, it's going to be incredibly interesting to see everybody come onto those intermediate tyres, and AMS Josh will lead the race with a penalty though. And of course he had some collisions with Josh. I think this is the time that ABE do need to pit now. That would be my opinion. If they box now, they will get those fresh tyres on. You can see a slow car in the first sector. That is Trap. He's gone off in the first sector. Virtual safety car. This is perfect. This is perfect for ABE. This is what they've been wanting. It's exactly what they've been wanting. Both Red Bulls come into the pits. The Aston Martin stays out. Will the Williams come in? Nobody. Only Kevin. Only a couple of drivers are coming in. This is perfect strategy from ABE. They've done it perfectly. They've done the masterstroke of a strategy. This is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. And it's a virtual safety car. The furthest they'll come down, ABE to Kubi will only be... He'll come out in front of Josh and AMS Josh. He's P4. Rev Rob, he's going to come out in P7 on fresh intermediates. This is crazy. The front guys aren't even on intermediates except Drastic Blaze. He's the only driver who's on intermediates in front of Takubi. And the racing is going again. We're going to see the gaps drop down massively. Has this been a massive fumble? Has it been a massive fumble from FG with one driver and from STR? Have they dropped pretty much all of their points for this week? Possibly. We'll have to see. We'll see if Drastic Blaze is catching, or if he's not. He's catching by small amounts through the corners. He is catching by small amounts, though. Although it is, like I said, only small amounts he's catching. He's just found 2/10 in 2 corners. So he is finding bits of time. So maybe those intermediates are quicker. And ABE Takubi, of course, he's pushing because he needs to get past the Aston Martin. But you can see these front two, the rain's getting heavier. We might be seeing mistakes. Sven gets a 3-second time penalty in this race. I believe it's another 3-second time penalty for him. You can see ABE Takubi. This man is flying out there on those intermediates. He is absolutely flying. He's crazy fast at the moment. He's really caught up to Drastic Blaze, who I don't think really wants to catch up. And there is a safety car. Very late safety car because Trap has DNF'd from the session. Whether he's retired in the pits, I'm not sure. But he has retired from the session. This now allows Jam and DeVito to go on to some fresh intermediates. All of the top 3 are going in. But this leaves Takubi in the lead of the race. And even though it is a very late safety car here on lap 19 out of 22... This is just going to be absolutely perfect for these guys because look at where Rev Rob is going to come out. He's going to come out in P2. It's a 1-2 now for ABE. This could be maximum points for the ABE duo. Actually, I want to find out who has the fastest lap in this race. Who has the fastest lap? If I can see who has the fastest lap. The fastest lap is held by Takubi. This is interesting. This is getting incredibly interesting now. Because now, this means ABE could overtake AMS as it is. They were 20... They're less than 30 points. Essentially, yeah. ABE could overtake... ABE could overtake AMS here in round 8. They could climb up to 2nd in the standings. Here in Belgium. This is what Takubi and this is what the whole of ABE wants here tonight. Really, this is what they all want. It's not been a good night for some teams. AERO haven't come off too lucky. Kevin has, but Aspect hasn't. DLRFP1 hanging on for the chance of 1 point here tonight. And it's what they kind of got last week as well. Josh, of course, wanting points. Of course, AMS Josh has a penalty, so as it stands, he'll drop down to P9 and only scored 2 points. So AMS is bad luck. Last week, they might have been back on the podium for just the 3rd time this season, but it will sadly be one of the final times. And also as it stands, Kevin will make it onto the podium for AERO, scoring massive points for the chance for 4th in the Constructors for AERO because they're 4th. This is going to really carry on their lead in that midfield. STR, of course. DeVito's gone soft. DeVito's gone... He's gone softs. I have no words for that. I have absolutely no words for what is going on here tonight. We're still going to be going for another lap onto lap 20. We'll only have 2 laps of racing, which of course is exactly what the ABE duo want. They want this to last as long as possible, get the least amount of laps of racing. There will only be 2 laps of racing after the safety car comes in, if everybody can catch up a bit. We can see Like is in the pits, and so is Aspect. He's also gone into the pits. I don't know what's happened here. ABE, from just scoring 2 points from their scoring 10 points from, I got it mixed up there. Scoring 10 points. I can't even get it right. Scoring 10 points from their last 2 races. That's what ABE have done, to now scoring 44 in 1 race, their biggest points tally of the season. Out of their 80, they've only scored 82 points this season. They're scoring more than half of what they've scored in 7 other races, which is, I have to say, a really big thing to do here already. This will be the first time they would have won since round 3 in Brazil, and they will stop the chance of FGE getting a 1-2, not only a 1-2, but also a win for the first time in the last 3 races, because FGE have had a hat-trick of wins, and it's going to be coming to an end here tonight with ABE. FGE won the first 2 races. It ended with ABE. Is this a bit like Max Verstappen, Carl Sainz? Carl Sainz ends every single one of Max Verstappen's win streaks. This time, it's going to be the same with ABE Takubi and FGE. It's going to be the same here tonight. And it's going to be very interesting to see, can ABE hold on to maximum points and take second in the Constructors? They'll be hoping for it. But the nicest thing for ABE here is that they're getting to stay in the top 2, stay in the lead for so much longer than the other teams will want. You know, only 2 laps of racing. And realistically, RevRob will be trying to defend his teammate mostly to score that victory and end FG's streak. But remember, Jam is on older intermediates. Jam is on older intermediate tyres than Takubi and RevRob. And the safety car will be coming in very shortly. It should be coming in. I'm not sure whether we're racing. We're not, because the yellow flags have gone away. I think we are waiting. Yes, the safety car is coming in. Just wasn't sure. You can see Takubi once again being the man to lead this race. He's going to let this grid go when he wants. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. Coming round. He's now coming off for the final corner. He's pushing. He's going. He is going. ABE 1-2. 2 laps of racing left to go. Who is going to take the victory here tonight? RevRob will be defending for his teammate mostly if he can get the victory now. This is important. Can ABE take the lead in the Constructors' battle? Can see some battling further back. Drastic Blaze making up quite a lot of positions for 3rd and 4th. Josh falling down another place. Kevin's dropped down a place or 2. AMS Josh is trying to make his way past Josh, the other Josh. Oh, almost contact there between the 2. And it is so incredibly close. And there's a car off in the wall. That was DeVito. He went off in the wall. He was on the soft tyres. Here comes Jam trying to make a move on RevRob. He's not been able to make the move down the Camel Straight. He's going to have to be waiting a while. This has been a terrible night for STR. Once again, their luck not getting any better for the team. Aspect battling over P11 here. Can see ARS. KSN is off the track. He's in down to 15th now. Jam's made the move for 2nd place. He's up into 2nd. RevRob down to 3rd. I'm losing my voice slowly. But now, Jam's going to be chasing after that chance for the victory. He's 7.5 tenths off, plus with a penalty. It's not going to be looking too great for a chance for him. Aspects dropped down quite a few positions. He's had a 2nd spin tonight, down to 15th now. And everything is kicking off. RevRob is struggling to keep up with Jam. It might not be a 1-2. It might not be perfect for ABE. But there's no DRS. That means Jam has got to do this all for himself here tonight. He's got to pull up. He's got to close up all he can. But it looks like ABE will outscore FGE as it stands. They will outscore them, becoming the first team to outscore FGE. Really, pretty much, only AMS and ABE have outscored FGE this season, by the way. They're the only two teams to outscore them when FG has finished a race. Josh made his way up into P5. But you can see RevRob's still quite far behind. It's gotten dry. The rain's not coming down so much. Takubi leads by 6 seconds. Will this be enough? We're going to watch from Jam. He's going to be pushing all the way. He's half a second behind. He's using all of his overtake. Takubi's going to be using all of his overtake. But they're both playing until the final straight. Remember, that's where it's all going to matter. Down onto the bus stop chicane. We know Jam is quick. Jam's gotten another 3-second time penalty. That's going to be hurting him in this race because he's going to be up to 6 seconds of penalty. Somebody's round. That is Sven. He's gone round on his tyres. He's outside of the top 10 now. That promotes Josh up to P7. But with a penalty, he might drop back a couple of places. He might drop down to P8. Possibly lower. We'll have to see later on. We can see a slow KSN. He's had another spin. He's lost his front wing. He's down to last place in this race. Senna, he's gone off. He's hit the wall. He's out of the race as well. Yeah, he's hit the wall. DLR FP1's luck getting worse by race by race. Now, Jam is closing in on Takubi. What is going to happen? Of course, penalties is the main thing that's going to hold Jam back. He's going to be sending everything he's got. Who's got more ERS? They're pretty much equal. Jam's going to be trying to use some ERS. Takubi's using it early. He's using it now. So, will he have enough straight line speed? Will there be enough? Will Jam risk it? Here he comes, down into the bus stop chicane. Is it enough? Is it? No, it isn't. It won't be enough for the moment. As now, up to the line, ABE Takubi will end FG's reign in FRLT. He ends the 3-win streak. And now, RevRob goes up into second because of Jam's penalties. And it's a 1-2 for ABE here this week. New dominant team. We had a 1-2 from FG last week. We've had a 1-2 from ABE this week. Absolutely crazy stuff going on. Drastic Blaze does get on the podium. 100% podium success rate for FG. He's P3. What a finish for him. Kevin finishes 4th. Good day for AERO. 12 points in the bag for them. What a race ending that was. So close for Jam, but ultimately his penalties still would have dropped him down the order. RevRob gets drive of the day for most positions gained. Of course, he gained 8 positions because he started P10. Oh, what a race that was. Absolutely no words. Red Bull 1-2. Just like in real life, like we saw in the first 2 races. And it is an ABE 1-2 at the same time. Great to see. So, here is the race order. ABE Takubi. He becomes, by the way, he has become the first driver to get, I believe he is the first driver to have a grand, no, he's not. He's the second driver to have a Grand Slam. Please do forgive me. He's the second driver to have a Grand Slam. I believe so. Pole, victory, and fastest lap. Well done, but he didn't lead every lap. I don't think he, did he? I'm not sure if he did. I'll double check that. But if he didn't, no Grand Slam for you. But from P10 to P2, it's RevRob, ABE 1-2. There we go, maximum points. Drastic Blaze gets on the podium. Kevin finishes 4th. Good points for AERO. Continues their lead in 4th. Jam finishes 5th. Josh 6th. AMS Josh is 7th. Rojawell 8th. Adri in 9th. Like in 10th. With Rexy in 11th. Rweb 12th. Aspect 13th. KSN 14th. Sven is 14th. Senna, of course, crashed along with DeVito, Trap, and Aiko on lap 1. They all crashed at the end of the race. But that was a good race. That was really, really a good race. I have no words for what happened here today, because that was something different. I really enjoyed that craziness from ABE, craziness with the rain, unexpected. Who knew what was going to happen there? And I'm seeing a lot of people cheering for ABE. 1-2 for them. Ultimately, that is a crazy finish. But FG do increase their lead. AMS finished with just 6 points in this race. Of course, 15 points scored for just one FG driver. They scored 25 points, so it's a massive 19 points gained. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Think about subscribing for more of this brilliant racing, by the way. I'm just putting that out there. But sadly, like I said, it's coming to the end of the stream. It's always sad to get to the end. I hope everybody has had a great time here today. But before we go, we will look at the calendar, which we'll just look at the standings for the calendar. Next race, you might be seeing that things look a little bit out of order, but it is Portugal next. It is the one down the middle. Yes, it is Portugal. We're heading there next. It was cancelled last time, but we will be racing there for round 9 this season. Then we'll be going to Spain, followed by Bahrain. And finally, in May, we'll be going to the Netherlands for the final race of FRLT Season 1. It's going to be very, very, very exciting for this. For the rest of the season, I'm just incredibly excited altogether. Thank you so much to everybody, though, for watching. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Show some great support towards the league and myself. Please do. I hope everybody has an absolutely great week. Also, click on the notification bell to know about every stream each week and every bit of content we release. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Have a great week, great month, great day, everything and anything. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Andres picks up a penalty. Here comes Neil. Trying to get past. Andres right now has nowhere to go other than the wheel tracks. Now he has an opportunity. Now he gets past. Takumi wins. To the front of the field.
Humans, what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you.